Desire gets a bad rap. Even in some translations of the Tao, in the first chapter, there's ways of representing the desire that diminish it. I think it's in Stephen Mitchell's translation where he says, caught in desire, realize only manifestations. Free from desire, realize the mystery. And to me, when I read that, there's a bias in that. There's the bias of desire and manifestations being less than mystery. Caught in desire, like as if desire is a prison. Free from the trap of desire. You know, if you're caught in desire, you realize only manifestations. There's a belittling of form, a physical world. But free from this trap of desire, you realize the mystery, the Tao. That's the thing. But there's other translations that I think don't have that bias. My kind of meta translation would be desireful, realize manifestation. Desireless, realize form. Desireful, realize manifestation / form. Desireless, realize mystery. So it's like, there's no judgment, there's no bias. It's just with desire, you connect with the form of the world. You realize that, you experience that. You realize it also in the sense that you produce form and manifestations. And desireless, without any desire, you realize you both produce and are connected to the mystery, God, the Tao. Two halves, the yin and the yang. That's what Taoism's all about. Both are equal and they fold into each other. So, I think desire gets a bad rap, as we can see in many translations of the Tao, in Western translations of the Tao, which comes from the East. Desire gets a bad rap. And I think we even see, through the lens of desire is wrong, desire is bad, a very Judeo-Christian concept, by the way. These desires, these animal natures that we have are wrong and sinful, and we have to be cleansed in order to be worthy of heaven. Right? This is an idea, whether you're religious or not. It's part of the cultural perspective in the West. And so even with that perspective, when we look at teachings from the East, and we see this idea of non-attachment, and desire creates suffering, and we say, yeah, desire, bad. But there's a subtlety to it that I think is missed, which is that it's not bad, it's not wrong, it's part of nature. And I think a more empowering relationship to it is to see the nature, the natural primal instinct, as true, as perfect, and that our relationship to it should be one, as Joseph Campbell calls, more of one of sublimation, of sublimating that impulse, that desire, into a form that fits and suits the modern human being. And so, personally, for me, desire is the source of all creation. I look at, you hear me talk about this a lot if you watch my videos, the act of sexuality as an expression of creation, just like the act of speaking and building buildings or making things happen in the world, music. It's all a sexing, it's all a act of creation. And so sexual desire is what creates life. The mimetic desire is what creates everything in life as well. All the other things on top of physical life, right? And so where does that come from? We have a desire for something. We see something that we want in our mind. We feel a pull towards something and it moves us into action and we create. It becomes suffering when it's not acted on and held in the mind as a longing, and it becomes an attachment. And then it's actually driving suffering and driving pain. But the initial impulse, if acted upon, and in a modern human world, if acted upon in a way that fits with our social and cultural equilibrium and balance, that way we're not running around with our sexual desires just taking whatever we want from people, but we're sublimating that into another form of expression of monogamy or some kind of other form of art or dance or whatever it is. It's moving and transmuting it into a different expression, but it's an honoring of it at the same time. So when I speak to myself, I am desire and I do not need. What I'm doing is I'm honoring desire, first of all, as natural and okay. And so I'm freeing myself from the prison of the ideas. Let's talk about prison around desire. Let's look at it the other way. The prison of the idea that desire is bad. I don't need to be free from it. I need to be free from the idea that having desire means I'm not free. Having attachment is not free, but not having desire. allowing it to move through me. I am desire. I am that, identifying with it even, allowing it to be an expression of the truth of my existence. And I do not need, because I want to find that balance point, that place between attachment and desirelessness, also a valuable foundation to experience. But that's for another video, another conversation. That's about the mystery. Right now I'm talking about desire and contact in the realization of form, connecting with form, seeing form, valuing form through the experience of desire, producing form, realizing it in the sense of form coming out of desire. I have a son, he's 3. He was born from desire. Everything is born from desire. Everything. And if that's the case, then I am that, and I do not need. I want to know that distinction. I want to feel it. I want to embody it. My friend said his martial art instructor used to say, the way that you hold a sword is the way that you hold a baby bird. You want to hold it tight enough so that it doesn't fall from your hand, and at the same time, not so tight that you crush it and kill it. And there's a tension and a looseness simultaneously, and that's what holding desire is like, where you don't let it become attachment, but at the same time, not letting it go and dropping it because you have this false idea that it's not true, it's not real, it's sinful, it's not who you are, it is who you are. You are desire, and you do not need. And today is the perfect day for you to create who you are. You are loved, and you are powerful, and I am loving you simply for your being here. I'll talk to you soon.